locate players.
Okay.
All right, guys. Obviously a huge W for us. Hard-fought win that clearly could have gone either direction there. Anytime you play, a Coach Dumphy coach team, you're in for a fight. They're just so well schooled. Rickus and Brantley, those two guys are really tough, to guard, and I really like the players that they've surrounded with those two guys. Their guys are bigger than I was expecting. When you first see numbers and heights and all that kind of stuff, and you see them on film. Surrounded with some good shooters and guys that can get to the basket. But really proud of the guys' effort. To be down 3 at half. I thought the end of the half and the beginning of the second half was really important for us. We handled adversity through the game with Zeb going out, Janelle goes out, and we're having to manage the lineups there, and in terms of being able to give Max and Sean some time on the bench to rest a little bit. But really pleased with the finish of the game, the ability for our guys to find baskets down the stretch, and then get key stops in order to put it away. But an excellent win for us on the road. Any win on the road in conference is like gold, and I'm just excited for the guys.
Sean, career high 12 assists. How big was his court vision today?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, he made some great passes, obviously. We tried to kind of get him more in the middle, down the stretch there for him to make some plays. And he and Max, came up with some really good ones down the stretch. Kwani, banged some shots. Toby, obviously, was a recipient of some of those, to the rim. But, yeah, he played great.
Zeb didn't re-enter the game. Janelle did. Any updates on either of them? Seems like Janelle's okay.
Janelle's an ankle thing. Roos and Jay Wall are amazing at that. In terms of being able to get a guy back. As long as it's not too severe, pretty quickly. And tonight was a great example of that. It's a credit to them and Janelle's toughness and willingness to get back out there. Back spasms are a different thing. It's what happened with Zeb. Hopefully, we'll get that out of him and get him situated. It's happened before in practice, never happened in a game since I've been coaching him, but he'll be fine. I'm pretty positive. But we'll see. We'll have to see when we get back.
Rickus made some tough shots down the stretch there, but Janelle's defense on him was great. Yeah. What can you say about him guarding Rickus?
I think it was a team effort. Bell had his moments on him, certainly first and second half, and I thought Janelle did a great job, down the stretch. It's a tough task, especially when you have somebody else coming up to screen and running interference, and you're having to not only navigate that, but also guard a guy that's that good with the basketball. He did a nice job a couple of times of, pulling it back and getting back to three to shoot threes there, but something we can certainly learn from.
Ryan, Josh Rowland from City Basketball.
How you doing?
Christian, played a little bit for you guys last year. Obviously, gone into a much larger role. What have you seen from him in terms of his growth from last season to this season?
I think the first thing you notice about Ferm is just he's the happiest person, in the room most times. He and Coach Crawford, Bryce Crawford, my assistant, they battle for 1 and 2 in that one. I don't know.
I think I edge him out.
Think you edge him out? Yeah. And so it's like when you're around people like that, that's infectious, right? It breathes through the team, it transfers through the team, and energy, positivity, all of those things. When you talk about his game, he just wants to get better. He wants to continue to learn, and he's always seeking information from his coaches. And he's a great teammate. He's really improving, as a player. Not only defensively, he's always had the ability to block shots and defend, at a high level. He's really bringing that for our team. But now he's been able to find ways to, make shots in and around the rim and outside of the lane, and really becoming a reliable free throw shooter. So there's a lot of growth there that's happening with Ferm right now for such a young guy. And so, as coaches, we're really excited, to be a part of the development process for him.
Christian, good to see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, what was the last year like for you, and kind of, again, this year, getting all these minutes, where did last year help you out in terms of being ready for this season?
Last year just taught me that everything's a process really. I had to learn quick last year that everything that you want isn't gonna come to you instantly, and I feel like carrying that over into this year, I've had more patience throughout the year, how things are going on. I'm known to maintain composure because of last year, not playing a lot. That just taught me those values in my head. And just as a player, on the court, the difference is really just me being on the court. To be honest, that's really the biggest adjustment. And for me, getting used to that, it's been easy. It's really just being in the gym with the coaches that trust me and are gonna allow me to fail. And I know that sounds weird, but the coaches have so much belief in me that they'll let me do things wrong. They'll just coach me about it, and then we'll go on and they'll keep on allowing me to be the player that I am. So it's been a pretty easy adjustment, I'd say. So myself coming from last year into this year.
I mean, in West, you were the big guy. There wasn't here that this team has so much size and length, and so how does that change sort of how much energy you can play with, or how hard you can play, knowing that there's somebody else that can come in and
yeah. I mean, regardless of who's coming on the court, the energy thing is just gonna be constant. You as any basketball player, you have to bring a consistent energy no matter what. And that's something that we preach as a team. But just knowing that we have such a deep team we have guys like Toby and Kwani coming off just ready to bring that same energy. It just makes it easier to go out there and just get what you got, knowing that you have that guy coming in that's going to continue to bring that on continuously. And it goes for every position. Everybody just has somebody just coming in to do what they do, equal or if not possibly better. We just have that deep spot, in my opinion.
And I know this is a home game for you, but it's about as close as you're gonna get. Do you have any idea how many friends, family you had coming out?
I had 29 people that I gave tickets, and then there was a lot of people that came that I didn't even know were gonna come. So it was good. in a way, you could say it was kind of a home game, but it's a great environment. I love coming home, seeing people get a lot people getting to see me. Honestly, it's a big deal coming from where I'm from. People seeing somebody like me in an environment like this, because my whole high school team was here today, and that just gives them the hope to be able to see that they can come here and do something like this. It's not that far away from their reach, and yeah, I mean it's a surreal moment for me. It's just something I'm very blessed to have. It's all the God. I'm just blessed to be able to be in that position that I can have all these people here to support me and just be able to let them see things they've never seen before. For real.
From a Big's perspective, how fun is it to play with Sean? It seems like you and Toby in particular have a great relationship with him.
Yeah, Sean was honestly quickly became my one of my favorite guys to hoop with. As soon as they came here, as soon as we started playing pickup together, I was okay, this guy he knows how to play the game. And I was he's a fifth year, it makes sense. But yeah, he just makes reads. He talks a lot. He communicates, and he's just constantly looking. He's constantly just looking to do the right thing, and that just so happens we hit an open guy, and he just draws so much attention that guys like me and Toby end up being an open guy, and he trusts us continuously to capitalize on those opportunities and finish those shots. And even if we're not, he's still gonna keep looking for us, and he just instills so much confidence the dudes he's around. So having a guy like that is honestly it just brings nothing but good to our team. And even when he doesn't have the ball, he's just constantly just making us better players.
Coach, I have a question for you. Obviously, you've had experience coaching, talented guards, and coaching the team kind of like LaSalle, having, Brooks and Bradley, really initiating plays and such. What was your plan for Briggs and Bradley coming into tonight? I mean, this afternoon, considering you did so well against them.
Yeah, I mean, they're different. They're similar, but they're also different. In terms of how they play the game, and they're both extremely dynamic. And it's hard to just focus on one, right? Because then all of a sudden the other one can go off on you. And so it's more about just trying to make them take as many hard shots as you possibly can. And it's easier said than done, because as you saw down the stretch, they're quite capable of making really hard shots. Yo-yoing you, getting it inside the line and then pulling it back outside of three. I mean, that's not a lot of guys can make those types of plays, and so that can break your soul a little bit and your will, as you're guarding guys like that. But I thought overall, our guys did a nice job of trying to guard them with five, as opposed to one guy. And you want to try to limit the amount of fouls as well, because it's one thing to guard them hard and do your best, but then all of a sudden those can lead to fouls, as well. They know how to get fouled, and so I thought our guys did a nice job, tonight.
Ron Kwani hit some big shots from outside, especially in that second half. What does his shooting do as a big from a spacing perspective for everybody else?
Yeah, we want to space the floor. There's no question about it. And so it's harder to load up on pick and roll, when you have guys that can shoot, on the outside. And when you have guys like Fermin and Toby that can finish around the rim as well, all right, provides, some, balance there is the word that I would use. But, credit to the guards, Sean and Max, in particular for making those reads too. You're reading the defense and seeing that all of a sudden Kwani was the guy, at that particular time. And, that was huge down the stretch.
Celebrate and tolerate. Anything that first comes to mind that'll go on that board after this one? 15 turnovers?
Yeah, tolerate, certainly that's one of them. The offensive rebounding, another one. The free throw shooting for us wasn't great tonight. We've got to step up there and knock those in. We got to the line quite a bit, enough, to be impactful in the game, but I got to knock them down. But, we'll see.
I think this team is really learning how to win close games. This was 11 ties, 9 lead changes. It was tight throughout, and then down the stretch, you guys made the key plays in the key moments.
Yeah, no question. It's the will to win and figuring out how to, continue to get some baskets or get baskets, plus, find a way to separate with stops. And we were able to do that. But credit to LaSalle, they kept coming back. They wouldn't let us separate too far, and all of a sudden they tie the game. They had a chance to take the lead on the free throw, right? And so our guys were able to answer as well, and so really something to be proud of and celebrate for sure.
Coach, on the next game against St. Louis, a top 4 team in the A-10. Yourself, your team, St. Louis, St. Joe's, and then you obviously have the formidable Dayton, like Flyers. How do you prepare for a game like that, coming off of this win?
Yeah, no different than we have for any other game that we've played so far, right? I think that's what you have to do in conference play. You focus on yourselves, areas where you can improve. Our team can improve, and we certainly do that after every game. And then we begin to focus on, all right, what's the next, in terms of our preparation. And we try to have a serious approach, every single game, all right, to how we're preparing for the next one. And you put your best foot forward, and then you got to go for it on game day. And there's some times this year so far where we've put in the right preparation, but we haven't necessarily gone for it. In the games, we've been a little bit on our heels, or we step back a little bit, shrink back. Today was not an example of that. Today was, there were things thrown our way, adverse things that we had to deal with, be it LaSalle's play or, Zeb being out and Janelle having his deal, foul trouble, whatever. And our guys were able to just kind of, stay focused on what the task at hand. It was all still there. The solutions were within our huddle, and I think that's what we try to focus on most.
Coach, you've coached in a lot of different leagues and a lot of different positions. What have you learned in your first couple games of A-10 play that makes this league unique and special?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to coach in a lot of different leagues. You're right. Both as an assistant coach and as a head coach. They're all different. They're all different. This particular league, the difference in this league here is, you're playing certain teams once, right? Like, this is the only time we're going to see LaSalle, right? This season, unless we end up in the tournament. And so that part of it's a little bit different, for me. I'm used to playing both teams, all the teams twice. Sitting there watching, Dayton and Duquesne, and we don't play Duquesne until March, 5th. And so, but they're a conference foe, so that's different, for me. But what you know is every single night, you're going to get a well-coached team, or you're going to get players that are trying to win, right, and have the ability to beat you. Certainly guards, we've got really good guards in this league. We've got excellent big guys in this league. We've got shooting. And so it's going to be a battle every single night, whether you're playing at home, as we found out, all right, or on the road. You can look around the conference and tell, just because you're playing at home doesn't mean it's an automatic W for you. And so you got to be ready to go. And matchups matter. Matchups matter. Certainly styles matter. And there's certainly some different styles, in our league. But we're excited to be a part of it, and looking forward to continuing along this path.
Last one. Even better. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much.